Welcome, friends, to a profound exploration of the most beautiful and powerful hymn dedicated to the Divine Mother, the Lalita Sahasranamam. This is not just a prayer but a celestial song of energy empowerment and the ultimate celebration of the feminine principle of the universe. If the Vishnu Sahasranamam is the song of the protector, then the Lalita Sahasranamam is the heartbeat of the creator and the destroyer of all miseries. Today we will walk through the story of its origin, the deep meanings of its names, and how you can use these sounds as remedies for every struggle in modern life. To understand the power of these 1,000 names, we must go back to a time when the world was under the shadow of a great darkness. There was a demon named Bhandasur. He was not an ordinary demon. He was born from the ashes of Manmatha, the god of love. Because he was born from fire and ash, he was incredibly powerful and represented the negative ego and deadness of the spirit. He conquered the 3 worlds, and even the gods felt powerless against him. The gods went to the supreme energy of the universe, the Parashakti, and pleaded for help. In response to their prayers, a magnificent fire sacrifice, or Mahayaga, was performed. From the heart of the sacrificial fire emerged the most beautiful form the universe had ever seen. She was Shri Lalita Tripurasundari. She was sitting on a chariot, and her beauty was so radiant that it outshone 1,000 suns. She was the personification of pure love and ultimate power. She eventually fought Bhandasura and destroyed him, restoring balance to the cosmos. But the story of the Sahasranamam itself happens later in a secret place called the Chintamani Griha. This hymn was not composed by a human being. It was composed by 8 goddesses of speech known as the Vasini Vagdevatas. They did this at the command of the Divine Mother herself. The great sage Agastya, who was a master of many sciences, felt that something was missing in his spiritual practice. He approached Lord Hayagriva, the horse-headed incarnation of Vishnu, who is the Lord of wisdom. Agastya asked Hayagriva to reveal the most secret and powerful way to worship the Divine Mother. Hayagriva then recited these 1,000 names, which are known as the Lalita Sahasranamam. The names are arranged in a specific sequence that tells a story. The first name is Srimata, which means the Great Mother. This is very significant. Before she is a queen, before she is a warrior, she is a mother. A mother does not judge her child. She only loves. This is why anyone, regardless of their past, can approach this prayer. The second name is Sri Maharajni, which means the Great Empress. This shows her power to rule the entire universe. The third name is Deva Karya Samudyata, which means she who is ready to fulfill the work of the gods. As you listen to or chant these names, you are moving through the different layers of the universe. Some names describe her physical beauty from her hair to her feet, which is a meditation called Padakesha Vanana. Some names describe her dwelling place, the Manidvipa, which is a mystical island in the ocean of nectar. Other names describe her as the Kundalini energy that resides in the human spine. This is where the text becomes a deep manual for yoga and healing. Now let us talk about the practical remedies found within this divine hymn. The Lalita Sahasranamam is considered the ultimate medicine for the mind and the body because it addresses the root cause of our problems, which is the imbalance of energy. One of the most common issues today is mental stress and the lack of peace. The Divine Mother is called Shantimati, which means the one whose mind is peace. She is also called Nirantara, which means she who is eternal and without gaps. When you chant these names, you are inviting that stillness into your own mind. For those suffering from depression or a heavy heart, the name Tushti, which means contentment, and Pushti, which means spiritual nourishment, act as powerful remedies. Simply focusing on these names fills the emptiness within. Let us look at the remedy for health and longevity. The text calls the Mother Mrityu Mathani, which means the destroyer of death. She is the one who gives life force or prana. There is a specific name Ayurvardhidaini, which means the giver of long life. In ancient traditions, it is believed that if someone is very sick, chanting these names or even hearing them helps the soul find the strength to heal. She is also called Rogaparvata Dhamboli, which means the thunderbolt that shatters the mountain of diseases. If you have a chronic illness, visualizing the mother as a radiant red light and chanting her names can help align your cells toward health. Another major area of life is family and relationships. Many people face delays in marriage or conflicts in their homes. Since the Divine Mother is the embodiment of the sacred feminine, she is the bestower of domestic harmony. She is called Sumangali, which means the one who is eternally auspicious. She is Shiva Shaktiaikya Rupini, which means she is the union of Shiva and Shakti, representing the perfect balance of male and female energies. For those looking for a life partner or wanting to improve their marriage, meditating on this aspect of the mother brings sweetness and understanding into relationships. For students and those seeking wisdom, the Lalita Sahasranamam is a gold mine. The mother is the source of all arts and sciences. She is called Saraswati and Bhasharupa, which means the form of language. She is Jnanada, which means the giver of knowledge. Chanting the names that describe her as the Queen of Speech helps in improving memory focus and the ability to express oneself clearly. It is a great remedy for children who struggle with studies. Now let us address wealth and prosperity. The mother is Mahalakshmi. She is called Bhagyada, which means the giver of luck and prosperity. But unlike worldly wealth, the wealth she gives is sustainable. She is called Dhanya, which means she who is blessed and makes others blessed. Chanting the names related to her royal status like Rajarajeshwari helps in clearing financial obstacles and attracting opportunities. However, the secret of this prayer is that as you chant, your greed decreases and your abundance increases because you start feeling like a child of the Empress of the universe. For those facing fear or enemies, the mother is a fierce protector. She is called Rakshakari, which means the protector. She is Chandamunda Vinashini, which means the destroyer of the demons Chanda and Munda. These demons represent our internal enemies like anger and jealousy. When you feel threatened by external circumstances or internal negativity, chanting the names of the mother in her Durga or Kali forms, which are included in this hymn, acts as a shield. She is the one who turns the impossible into the possible. A very unique remedy in this text is for those who are on a spiritual path but feel stuck. The mother is called Kundalini. She is the energy that moves from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. The names describe the various energy centers or chakras like Muladhara, Swadhisthana and Anahata. By chanting these names, you are actually performing a subtle form of internal yoga. It cleanses your nervous system and helps you experience higher states of consciousness. This is the ultimate remedy for the feeling of being spiritually lost. The Lalita Sahasranamam also works as a remedy for environmental and planetary issues. Just as with other great hymns, the mother is the ruler of all planets. She is the light of the sun and the coolness of the moon. If you are going through a difficult astrological period like a hard Saturn or Rahu transit, the mother's names act as a cushion. She is beyond the stars, yet she controls them. Reciting the Sahasranamam on Fridays, especially during the full moon or Purnima, is considered the most powerful time to align yourself with these planetary energies. How should one use these remedies in daily life? You do not need to be a scholar. The most important thing is devotion. If you can chant the whole text, it takes about 30 to 40 minutes. If you are busy, you can listen to it while doing your work. The sound itself is a form of medicine. There is a section at the end called the Phala Shruti, which describes the benefits. It says that for the devotee of Lalita, nothing is impossible. It says that even the gods bow down to the one who carries these names in their heart. One very simple remedy for those who have no time is to chant the 3 seed sounds or bija mantras that are hidden within the names, although those are usually given by a teacher. But for a general seeker, simply repeating the name Lalita or Shri Mata is enough to connect with her energy. Think of the Lalita Sahasranamam as a vast ocean. You can go to the shore and feel the breeze, or you can dive deep and find pearls. Each of the 1,000 names is a pearl. If you are facing a specific problem, find a name that resonates with that problem. If you need peace, call her Shanta. If you need strength, call her Viramata. If you need love, call her Karuna. In conclusion, the story of the Lalita Sahasranamam is the story of our own soul returning to its mother. It reminds us that we are not weak, we are not alone, and we are not defined by our problems. We are the children of the Divine Mother, who is the ruler of all the worlds. By chanting her names, we wash away the dust of the world and shine with her light. May the Divine Mother Lalita Tripurasundari bless you with health, peace and prosperity. May she remove every obstacle from your path and fill your life with the sweetness of her grace. Just start with the name Shri Mata and watch how the universe begins to take care of you.